What are you doing, Berritt? How's everything going for you today?
Good. How are you?
Absolutely fantastic. Been waiting to talk with you. The reason why is because we both have had situations with our hearts, and so many dreams change when things happen to our hearts. But man, we keep pumping, don't we?
That's right. That is right. Yes,
How
sir.
how did you find that inner strength to do that? Because it's one of those things where it was like, it's like, okay, well, I can either. I'll tell you what a doctor said to me. He says, start acting your age, and I'm going, no, that's just not going to happen. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
Right. You know, I struggled a lot when I was diagnosed with my heart disease. I was mad. I was very angry because I felt like everything that I've ever worked for. As an 8-year-old kid, I thought that my life was ending, and really my life was just beginning.
Yep.
Uh, and I finally came to realize that the Lord had a different plan for me, and it wasn't to play sports; it was to play guitar and sing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'll never forget that moment where I was in the hospital and they were telling me what was going on, and I really, the first thing I said was Merry Christmas. And the doctor looked at me kind of strange, and I said, no, this is a conversation between me and God. And I said, Merry Christmas. And I really felt like that it put me in a place of peace is what it did. Did you go through the same thing?
right, yeah. You know, when I was in the hospital, I struggled beforehand. My grandfather was like my best friend, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Mm.
And he actually passed away 4 days before my open heart surgery, and his funeral was 2 days before my open heart surgery. And I almost didn't have the surgery because I was sick from being up all night.
Mm.
Losing him was a hard thing. We knew it was coming, but just didn't think it would be that soon. I thought I was going to be able to make it through open heart and him still be there. But you know, I feel like him passing away was kind of like my guardian angel, and he pretty much told me, Barry, you can do this. This is something that you're going to have to do, something you're going to have to get done, and stop being a titty about it, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Now, through Buddhism, I've learned that in situations such as that, the transition of energy becomes a part of your life. Do you feel the presence of your grandfather right there in front of you? Because to me, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, this is exactly what I've always studied.
Well, I don't necessarily feel him right in front of me, but I feel that he watches over me.
Yeah.
He keeps me safe. In an aspect of he, he always wanted what was best for me.
Right.
He was one of my biggest supporters, and I just feel like from heaven he is just smiling down on me, and my biggest supporter.
Yeah, especially when it comes to music, because it feels like that when you sing, it feels like the energy of the universe is moving through you. It's fun to watch you guys on that screen and go, oh my God, they totally get what's happening.
Yeah, it is. It is when you get on that stage, it's almost like you blank out.
Yep.
You you start singing, and you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm present. And then you get about halfway through the song, and you get done with the song, and then you come home, and then you're like, did I really do that?
Yeah.
You know?
But see, isn't that part of
So
being a creative person, though? It's like we
it is.
disconnect, because there are many times that I'll do something and I'll question that. So I keep a defrag journal is what I do, so I can document after the moment and defrag it and break it down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you sing a
That's
song
cool.
from Coldplay, these guys are not simple songwriters. I mean, and you did Yellow. I mean, that could not have been an easy song to do.
No, sir. It was very, very uncomfortable when I first started singing the song, um, because I had never sang a song in my falsetto voice, and the song is it's just hard. Different places in the song, where you go in the say for instance, in the first verse, it says, "Look at the stars, look how they shine for you." You know, when the lead singer of Coldplay sings that first line, he he does it he does half the first line in falsetto.
Yep.
And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I mean, I could, but I tried it and it wasn't sounding right. And I was like, I got to figure this out. So I ended up singing those first two verses in my chest voice, and they ended up working out really well. But I will tell you that I worked really, really hard for that song. I sang falsetto songs from the time I got Yellow until the time I got done with Yellow, and I still sing songs that have falsetto in it because I want to keep my falsetto. But Yellow was a really fun song. It was not in my wheelhouse. It was actually in the girl that I was battling. It was actually very in her wheelhouse. I did not even know this song when we first started it, and she did. So it was a learning curve for me, but I just took it as a challenge and ran with it.
Do you think one of the reasons why people are afraid to showcase their falsetto, and I struggled with this in class, in course and stuff like that, because it's like, no, I don't want to be that person. I want to be the voice. I want to be, because that's not how Rod Stewart is singing. That's not how all these, they're not up there with those high falsetto voices. And then you get someone like Bruno Mars nowadays who doesn't mind going up in those high vocals. And even Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I know. And those guys are Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake, and even Rod Stewart. Those guys are insane. It's funny that you said Rod Stewart. My grandfather has a song that Rod Stewart does. He redid like Moon. He did Moon River.
Yes, he did.
And I love that song. My grandfather loves that song. Loved that song. And Fly Me to the Moon, Rod Stewart. But all these cool artists, like Alan, he's new. This guy's new. I listen to him a lot. His name's Alan Stone. Mm-hmm. He's super cool guy. I've never met him, but I just know that his voice is just amazing. His falsetto is just absolutely crazy. Same with Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake.
It's just we're living in this age of exploration when it comes to music. Do you find yourself playing that game as well?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I do.
Yeah. How do you practice that? Do you have a studio at home? I mean, what is it that you're doing to maintain that strength?
I'll just normally what I'll do is I'll just get in my truck, ride down the road, and turn on the radio or turn on a song and just sing with the person singing. And I just work on keeping my voice to the potential really keeping my voice strong and healthy, and so that when I do go and sing, I don't have to worry about my voice cracking or anything like that.
How do you keep it healthy in that way? Because I sit here with a ton of water, all different temperatures and stuff like that, because I need this voice. This is my job. What do you do? Because your voice is the same way, dude.
Right. Everybody's always said tea and honey. I've never actually done any of that, but I drink, same way with you. I drink a lot of water. I probably don't like sodas. I like sodas, so I try to stay away from those, because when I drink a soda and then try to sing, it just don't work.
I'm so with you. I'm so with you on that. I'll never forget, I was doing a studio session, and my goal that day was to go in there because they had all the instrumentations done, and it was time to go drop tracks. And what did I do? I drank Coke all the way up there, and I could not sing because my voice was like burned by the dang fizz and all that kind of stuff. And it was a wasted day, and I still had to pay for the dang studio.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Coke. It's really strong in like carbonation. And I would be I would be burping in the mic if I ever did that.
Oh my God! You just
So
gave me a flashback of my wife's ex-husband is a record producer, and he produced for Madonna, and she was singing a song and she wasn't getting it right, so she takes the gum from her mouth and she put it all over his RCA mic, and it's like I'm going, were you mad? Why? It was
oh my
Madonna.
goodness, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
So what have you learned on this journey that you're going to be able to tuck away and keep forever? Because I mean, come on, you're on Blake Shelton's team. Blake is like, he's so powerful in the world of country music.
Yeah, probably one of the biggest things I took from this whole thing is, my mom and dad have always told me, I've always kind of let my heart disease define who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of always let it control me. And one of the things that I've learned from this show is to step out of my comfort zone. To step out of your comfort zone is okay. And really one of the things that, like Blake Shelton told me, he said, Berritt, when you get on the stage, you look so afraid. And I'm like, I'm not afraid, and I said this nicely, of course, but I said, I'm not afraid. I just feel like when I get on the stage, I have a certain job to do.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out how to make my face look happy and be in that same zone. So I'm not afraid, maybe a little nervous, but I'm not afraid to sing for people. But one of the things I've really learned is to really kind of step out my comfort zone, be confident in myself, and then everyone else will be confident in me.
And isn't that where we're supposed to be as artists during this pandemic, is the fact that, in everything that's gone evil around the world, it's always been the artists that step out first, and then you have followers.
Right. Yes, sir. That's it. That's exactly right.
So then I got to ask you the question. I realize you're on the Voice and stuff like that on NBC, but I mean, but Berritt, you've got a life that continues afterwards, and I want listeners to support you all the way through. What is your next step, and that life doesn't end on The Voice?
Yeah, I understand. I understand that my life will, is not going to end on The Voice. There's big things to come.
Yeah.
I have a couple songs I want to record, and get recorded and professionally, and maybe put those out on Spotify. And then I play gigs just about everywhere.
I love it.
So I play gigs, and then I'm also a substitute teacher. So I'm actually at the school right now. I'm substituting. I'm substituting for a teacher today. It's actually my second day being a substitute teacher, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy being around kids, and that they see me as the guy from The Voice. So
my wife is a school teacher, and I teach broadcasters at universities. I so know that connection, because when you say something and it pops inside someone's imagination and starts to affect the way that they're learning, my God, there's nothing on this planet that can beat that.
Right? No, there's not.
And I always, the thing is that, share your knowledge. It's not mine. Just share your knowledge.
Yeah.
What grade are you teaching?
Right. 5th and 6th grade.
Oh my God! Oh. Do they have to check their smartphones in before they come to class?
Well, that's the thing. I don't. Most of the time with the teachers here at this school, they're real. Well, this school is called Williams Intermediate,
mm-hmm.
and they're really when it comes to cell phones, they're really strict about it.
Ooh.
So if they see a kid with it just in their pocket, they get it taken up.
Wow. See, we need that. We need that leadership.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
So when is class? I mean, because
So,
you're an hour behind me. I'm over here in Carolina, so it's really what 8:25 where you are.
yes, sir.
When?
Yes, sir. So I just missed first period class. So there's another substitute that came in for me, and then I'll be with them for the rest of the day.
I love where your heart is, man. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future, Berritt. The door is always going to be open for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet. Bye, guy.